guys, welcome back to the Six Side Culture Podcast. I'll be joined by Danny and Francesco. What's going on, boys? You good?
Hey guys.
Well, we're all good, I guess. All three of our teams won. Danny was a close one, but managed to get the win. So that's all.
This could have been another rant video if we would end up tying or losing.
Yeah, we could have been here because Danny's rant was 21 minutes last podcast. It was like a record for Six Side. So congrats to Danny for holding the new record for longest rant. He overtook Francesco, or I don't know what it was, but
I think Francesco had the record.
Yeah, probably something regarding Leggett or something.
Still no
Congrats to Danny, new record holder. Yeah, we got some match to talk about. Won't be as long as usual, obviously, because we only had one match to talk about, but regardless, it'll be a good one. I guess we'll start off here with Atalanta-Benevento. Atalanta, they are scoring machines. It's incredible. And when I saw the score, 'cause I was watching a bunch of games and I didn't manage to wake up in time, but I watched it back. And I already knew the score, so it's kind of like, it's not, you guys know how it is when you already know the score of the game and you know what happened. It's kind of not the same, but I was thinking if I was watching it live and I saw 1-1, I'm like, oh wow, Benevento might pull it off. They've done it before against other top teams. They tied Juve as well, so you never know.
Yeah.
And then Atalanta just demolished them. Yeah, Marco Salas scored, and about I believe 20 minutes later it was around there. Atalanta's like, no, we're not losing this game. We're not tying, whatever. And Rafael Toloi scored. I really like Toloi. He came from Roma. I didn't mind him there. But now he's really coming to his own at Atalanta. Zapata. He's just fantastic. And then Luis Muriel, who I think isn't talked about enough.
That's super sub you could have.
Yeah, he can start on a lot of teams too. Remember Udinese, he was also very good.
Fiorentina,
he was decent. Yeah.
He was on Sampdoria too, I believe.
Yeah, he played for Samp as well.
There. He was good there too.
It was kind of no matter what team he's on, he seems to do really well. And an interesting stat that I saw is that actually Atalanta has scored 21 goals in games that Papu didn't play.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Papu did play, they scored 19. So that shows again how Gasperini, his system, no matter who's in it, he inserts them, they learn the style, and then they play. So it's really the system instead of the players they have.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, Dan, I'll throw it to you. What do you think about their win against Benevento?
Yeah, it seems like Atalanta the last few weeks, we were even debating here if they were going to be as good as we think they could be without Papu, because again, Papu's a great leader. He's a great player for them. And I just think now, the last few weeks, the last few matches, they've been impressive. They've been scoring goals like they were before. And a lot of players are stepping up in the likes of Papu Gomez, like Malinowski. He's becoming maybe a top 10, top 15 midfielder in the Serie A. He's a good midfielder. I like him a lot. I like also Zapata. I feel like Napoli should have given him another chance when we had to. He's becoming a really class striker. He can score from anywhere. Luis Muriel is a great player to come bring off the bench. He brings speed, and he can score. And just the team, they look better. Even Romero, who I'm not a big fan of, he's been playing a lot, and he's been proving something, and he's become a good defender. The only thing I really don't like about him is just the way he goes into some tackles sometimes. It seems like he's a little reckless. And when Gorlini's in net, Atalanta look like a completely different team than, say, when Sportiello's in net. Gorlini will make that 1 to 2 big saves that can keep them into the match, and they end up finding a way. Gasperini's a good coach, and he's a good with his tactics, and he's getting players to play the way he wants them to play. I just feel like he's just an idiot at times, and he can rub a lot of players the wrong way, which in this case he has with Papu Gomez. But he's proving a lot of people wrong, saying those who are saying, oh, Atalanta are finished without Papu. He's proving them wrong, and they seem to be coming into form, and they look like a team that you can't mess with no more. You can't take them lightly, even without Papu, because they prove that they can hurt you anyway and score in any minute of the match, any second of the match. It's going to be interesting to see what they do coming down the stretch of the season. And if they can continue this form, who knows if they can even push for a top 4, top 5 finish.
Yeah, and like you and Enzo said, I think Atalanta have been proving everyone wrong. Everyone literally said the minute Papu was out the door that Atalanta are finished without Papu, and Gasperini and Atalanta are showing us that the team's bigger than Papu, and they're getting results. They're scoring goals with or without Papu, so I think that's important. I just don't think when it comes to the bigger games, like when they face the Juventus, when they're playing Champions League, I think that's when we're really going to see the impact that Papu had on Atalanta and how big of a miss it is. But, it was a great result. Like Enzo said, when I was watching the game, with Atalanta-Benevento, I thought Benevento was going to, draw, get an upset here with Atalanta, and then, Atalanta just said, okay, they had like some sort of sparks, some, some motivation to get this win and not only get the win like a 2-1. They said no, we're Atalanta. We gotta get a huge win here, 4-1, 5-1, whatever it is. We gotta score more goals, and that's just the Gasperini and Atalanta way. So it was a great win for them, and Benevento fall down once again.
Yeah, well said. And I'm going to bring up what you just said there about how we're Atalanta when you score 4 goals. I'm going to bring it up again when I talk about Roma-Inter because it's going to kind of lean into what I'm going to say about that match. But Milan-Torino, another match we can talk about. We also had Genoa-Bologna on Saturday, and Genoa came away with 2-0 win. But moving to Milan-Torino, Milan, I think everybody really wanted to see how they would respond after losing to Juve. That's a big match. It's going to hurt your confidence, no matter how mentally tough you are. Obviously, losing a match that big is going to hurt you, but they responded well. Milan, they've had guys out for some time now, and they're still finding ways to win. And you got to be happy if you're a Milan fan to see your team respond like that, because we've seen Milan in the past where they'd lose a game like that and they completely fold and just fold like a lawn chair. They'd be over. But this Milan's a different side, you can tell, and they did well. Leao, I think Leao's been one of the best attackers in this league.
I agree.
He's sensational, and you're worried about him. I'm sure Francesco can probably agree with me when you're looking at Milan's lineup, like, oh, Leao, he's going to cause problems for sure, because he always does.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm sure Danny can agree when they played Napoli. They played Roma, I was worried about him. He's able to take people one-on-one. You can play within the team. He doesn't hog the ball. It's a good shot on him. He's smart. He's quick. He can pass. He's such a great player. So, and also I learned he could pass because I didn't think he was a good passer until until Roma played Milan, and I saw him chip that ball to Ibra. That's a pass that not many players can do. So, that really shows his quality right there. Cassier scored a pen, but regardless, a goal's a goal, and Cassier is one of the best pen takers we have in the league. So,
and he's been playing good too.
He's been playing really good. Yeah,
like, he's been playing like really hard for Milan. He's easily one of the big reasons why they're top of the league. He's a workhorse. Even with Atalanta, he was always a guy that I was worried about, that he could take over a game and he can help Atalanta. Like, say when he win the ball back in the defensive zone, bring it up, pass it off to say I'm gonna use Milan now. Say like a Leao, or even just a through ball to Ibra, who seems like he's class, even at the age of 39 or 38, 39, he's still class. And Leao and Ibra, they're two good players that they link up really well together, and which I'm somewhat surprised, because it's weird. Like, it's not common you see like an older guy linking up with like a player who's taking the next step. A lot of times it's usually like it's weird seeing that, but it works. It's a weird partnership, but it's a good partnership in the league. And Milan characters, they got good characters. They got their what I was gonna say, like the heads are screwed on right. They're not letting that loss against Juve affect them, which, like Enzo said, in the past you would see a loss like that, say to Juve, to an Inter, and then Milan will go on a slump for 3-4 games. It seems like now they know how to bounce back after a disappointing result, or a result that doesn't go their way, and that's what makes them probably champions in the end. Teams that can bounce back after a disappointing loss are always the teams that end up winning the league and that can win titles for years to come because of that mentality. And it was a good win for Milan, getting back on the win column against Torino, who I feel like we've all been disappointed in this year. They haven't been the same team as they were, say, a few years ago, especially when when they were pushing to get into Europe. The defense is terrible. They just look all over the place. There's a few good players here and there in that side, but overall, they're just not a team that scares you, and they'll be lucky on a given day to get a tie or even get a win. So credit to Milan for bouncing back, and it's hard to bounce back, especially in the Serie A, because any team in the league can hurt you, and bouncing back, especially like the way they did, it's impressive for them.
Yeah, Milan obviously had to get the win here. It's Torino. It's a game that when you look at it, you say, okay, this is an easy win. Torino is obviously going to cause challenges, even though their recent form isn't the greatest. They'll always cause challenges against the bigger teams. Milan had to go in with their heads held high, like Enzo said, with a lot of injuries to the team sheets, but they had to have the confidence to win the game and not drop any more points to remain top spot of the Serie A. And that's what they did. They won an easily 2-0 game. They were pretty dominant in the game. And I'm glad Milan learned to not go into the slumps. Obviously, for me, I want them to go into the slumps, and the slumps will come soon enough for them. But as of right now, they're staying mentally tough, and it just shows you how much impact Ibra has in that locker room. Heart of a champion he has, and he's really motivating his team, especially Leao beside him. Before Leao, he was good. Now, ever since Ibra came, he's been incredible. His game has just gotten better and better each game, and it's going to be a great talent to grow in Serie A.
Yeah, well said. Milan, once again, credit to them, and we'll see if they can keep it up. But so far, they've been looking good. They lost to Juve, and that's it all year. So impressive, very impressive, and definitely showing signs of a team that can win the Scudetto. Now, moving on here, Dan. I think it's your time to shine here. Napoli-Udinese.
Yeah. So, Napoli started off, I was somewhat impressed with how they started off. They got an early penalty from Lozano, which, first of all, I don't know why the referee even went to VAR to check if that was a penalty. It was a clear penalty to see. Even the linesman there should have called it. But anyways, Napoli got the pen. They got an early lead with Insigne, who I think he's lost confidence. There's a few chances this match that he could have easily scored, but he ended up missing. He made a few silly passes that he never makes, few dumb decisions that usually you don't see from him. But I think it's just the confidence now from that Spezia game. So at least he's got the penalty. Hopefully this helps him grow. But when Napoli had the lead and they were passing it back nicely, and then all of a sudden, with Armani, what the hell were you doing on that play? Passed it to Maret, but the pass was going 4 miles an hour. And Lasagna did a really good job winning that ball, beating Maret, and tucking it in. And Napoli, they gotta learn sometimes that it's okay to pass the goalie a few times, but it seems like they always do it. Every play ends up going back to Maret, which we all know Maret's not the best with his feet, but I can give the kid credit. He's the reason why Napoli won that game. He made big saves. I gotta give him the credit he deserves, and I think he's been, as of late, he's been better than Ospina. A few games Ospina's been playing, I haven't been really impressed with Ospina at all. I feel like it's time for Meret to start growing his confidence again, start getting him these games. So hopefully we see him tomorrow against Empoli and net as well. But I'm going to defend Romani here a little bit now. A lot of fans on Twitter, even a few fans I was talking to, were ripping him a new one, which at the time, yes, I was too, because it's a stupid mistake. But at the end of the game, once Bakayoko got that final goal, which was really nice, well-placed header, surprise ball by Miruri on the free kick. It was a great cross. Bakayoko jumped up really tall, won the header, posting in to give Napoli the win, the 2-1 win in the 89th minute, 90th minute. For me, my man of the match was Lozano. He was causing Udinese's defense problems the whole game. He's just so fast with the ball, and the only way you could stop him is, say, if you are really behind him and he's running right at you, or if you foul him, which Lozano is really good at drawing the fouls. But back to Romani, I'm going to defend him a little bit here. There's a lot of fans that saying, "Oh, this guy shouldn't play ever again. He shouldn't be starting for Napoli." Blah blah. I think he should He should start on Wednesday as well, just to grow his confidence. You can't really expect a player who's played 20 minutes in the last 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months, to play like he's prime Maldini or to play like Koulibaly. It's tough. It's hard on a player who hasn't played since the preseason, and he barely played in the preseason. So hopefully down the stretch, Gattuso realizes that this guy's a good defender, and he proved it with Verona that he's a good defender. He can defend in the Serie A. Just give him these games here and there, especially now with Manolas hurt, and we don't know how long he's going to be out for. I think it's not too serious, I was reading, but who knows with that guy? That guy is glass, so who knows? And it's going to be it could be a good time for Romani to step in and prove that he belongs on this team, and he belongs defending beside Koulibaly, starting games here and there. And I feel like Napoli should give him games, like the games that really we don't have to really start Manolas and Koulibaly. We can start, like, say, Romani and Koulibaly, or Maximovic and Romani or Manolas. Especially Wednesday. I hope to see him Wednesday because I want him to grow confidence. I want him to get back into form, because once he gets back into form, Napoli have a good defender, and especially if Maximovic leaves on a free at the end of the season, he could be that guy to take over Maximovic's position, and then we can bring in someone else. But as of right now, I feel like a few fans were a little too hard on him, saying he should never play again. He should just stay on the bench, because at the end of the day, it's his first game in a few months. So you can't expect a player who hasn't played in forever to play up to the par and play like he's like prime Maldini or something. So hopefully Gattuso starts giving him more games, even subbing him into games just to get the legs going, get him back in the fields of playing soccer. And overall, it's a good win for Napoli. I'm happy with the win, but I wasn't happy with the way we played. I feel like we could play a little bit better. I know we can play a little bit better, actually. So we have a few tough matches coming up. We have Empoli this week with the Coppa Italia, which at the end of the day, no win's guaranteed, and it proves it. We have Fiorentina, who's tough on Sunday, and then we get I believe the next match after that is the Supercoppa against Juve, and after that we will show up. It's not gonna. I don't believe De Laurentiis even said that. So there's a lot of fake news coming out. It's transfer window and fake news season. At the beginning of every year, it's always fake news. So I don't even believe De Laurentiis said that. So we got some tough matches going on. We need everyone to play like they can, and we need to rotate the squad, because at the end of the day, if we keep using the same squad, they're going to be done by the end of the season.
Yep, I think Danny went into great detail and really said everything that had to be said about the game, so well done, Dan. I guess moving on now, I'm going to recap some of the games that we're not going to touch up on too much. Lazio got 2-0 win, heading into the derby on Friday. Then they also had Verona-Crotone. Verona won 2-1 against Crotone. Fiorentina-Cagliari. Fiorentina pulled it out. Cagliari, a disappointing loss for them. I believe they played well. I was watching that match, and I feel like they deserved more than a loss, but what can you do? Fiorentina at the end pulled out. And my boy Vlahovic with the goal, so I can never be disappointed about that. Vlahovic, I think he's a great player.
Your boy Di Francesco, 0 wins.
Yeah, 0 wins in his last 10 games, so that's not too good. And we also had Spezia, who won now 2 in a row, who defeated Sampdoria on the other side 2-1.
That was a big game.
And Samp, they went from beating Inter to losing to Spezia, so up and down those teams in the mid-table and the bottom table. You never know what's going to happen. But they're actually fun games to watch. I enjoy them. And I also like Nzola from Spezia. I think he's actually a pretty good player. And Pobega, he's also really good. So.
One more Pogba. What a beast.
Yeah, they got some good players. Also, Crotone, I told Danny in the group chat we have, Crotone has a player named Messias Jr. I think he's a really good player, and I think a big team will pick him up at some point in his career. I think he's a great player, and he's done well. So, yeah, credit to him. But now moving on, Roma-Inter. I've been waiting a while to talk about this one. Going to the match, it's hard to say, but I didn't expect to win. I didn't expect a loss. I kind of felt the draw was coming, but during the match, I got more confident at the beginning. I saw we were playing well. Inter was sitting back. We were really having a fair share of possession. And I was like, okay, we might actually be able to win this. Then Mkhitaryan gets yet another assist. Pellegrini scores, and when Pellegrini scores, you know it's a big occasion. So I thought, oh, maybe we'd win. And we're playing well, but then we got to halftime, and then that's where we all went downhill because us in big matches always come out of the half. There's always some 20-minute stint that we just play like garbage, complete garbage, and it happened again. Inter scored 2 goals just like that, scored a corner, and Hakimi scored a banger bar down.
Yeah, that was
a
very good goal.
Yeah, it was a beautiful goal. Spinazzola allowed him too much space to cut in, and we paid the price. So I think that was probably Spina's worst game since that Inter game from last year. So I guess Spina and Inter don't fit too well together. So yeah, Spina and Dzeko to me are probably the 2 worst on the pitch. I don't really have a problem with anyone else. Everyone else played well. VR, yet again, fantastic. It was a really big step up in competition for him to see how we do against the bigger side starting the match. And he was, in my opinion, probably the best on the pitch. So he got an assist as well, which not many people are talking about, or I don't think people realized it because they're so happy after Mancini scored. But he played a great ball in with his weak foot right into Mancini's head, and he put it away to tie it up at the end.
Yep.
That's a very, 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 very important point for us. Especially considering Napoli were also probably going to be battling for the 4th spot. They lost to Inter, so there's a chance for us to kind of gain a point in a way. But games like this, you want top 4, you got to come out with a result, and we haven't been doing that this year. But this game we did, so I'm happy to see that. We have Juve in a couple of weeks, I believe. We have Lazio on Friday. So yeah, I'm happy with the win. Inter played. To be honest, Conte lost in the game because after they went up 2-1, they made Gagliardini come in, they put Kolarov in, and they really parked the bus and they sat back, and I think that was the wrong way to go.
The Allegri way.
Yeah, the Allegri way, as Francesco likes to say. I think that was the wrong way to go about it. Inter were controlling the game, and the best form of attack is possession, like Fonseca said after the match, and Inter just sat back, let us have the ball, and I told my dad, which again I watched the game with him, and I told him, I said, once I saw Gagliardini and Kolarov come in, I'm like, we're going to tie this game, we're not going to lose, no way.
Yeah.
And I was right. We started getting really close. We're knocking on the door for a while, and then finally Mancini, VR crossed it in, and biggest goal of his career, and probably the biggest moment of his career so far, puts it in, and a massive point for Roma fans. I know everyone's probably cranky waking up at that time, 6 a.m. Eastern time for us. So if we were to lose that match, I think people would have been very, very, very critical on Twitter. So I was happy to see us win. And it's a great momentum heading into the derby. People are saying Inter were the better team. I disagree with that notion. I think for 20 minutes they were the better team. The rest of the game, I believe we were the better team by a good margin. We really controlled it. And if we didn't let that 20 minutes slip up, I think we would have won this match. So proud of the guys. They did good. Smalling locked down Lukaku. I really haven't seen a center back in the Serie A really give Lukaku as much problems as Smalling has. So it's, I think, 3 games now that Lukaku hasn't scored against us. So, well, he may have scored the last game. It was a penalty anyways from Spinazzola's mess. But in play, Lukaku hasn't scored yet against us, and Smalling's done a great job. So happy to see that. Ibanez is Ibanez. The guy didn't really have a bad game. It's fantastic once again.
Yep.
Jack was a ghost. Not much to talk about. Mkhitaryan ran his ass off. He was one of the better players on the pitch as always. And that's really all I gotta say. Veritude's Veritude. The guy's an engine. Doesn't get tired. Runs up and down.
Yeah, no, I hate playing him because he's always up and down the field.
Yeah, he's an animal. So Veritude's always a player you love to have on your team. I think every team wants a player like that. I think Napoli has that in Bakayoko. I think Juve has that, or starting to have it in McKennie.
I wouldn't say Bakayoko too much. Bakayoko's more of like...
It sits back more, yeah.
Yeah, it sits back more. Maybe kind of like a Lozano type.
Yeah,
like
kind of like Alan used to be. Alan used to be like that.
Yeah,
in a way.
Alan was the perfect
before he left.
perfect example of, say, of 2 per team. But
Yeah.
for me, I think more. I know the different positions, like a Lozano, because he's always running, he's always giving it his all, and that's what you like to see as a fan. You love to see a player give it his all 90 minutes, not take it easy for a minute, because that 1 minute could hurt you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's why I like Vertuta. I even said in the summer, if it was true that we were linked with him, I would have taken this guy in a heartbeat. This guy is a great replacement for Alan, and it proves that we don't have that type right now on the midfield side, like a Vertu that can run up with the ball, that always gets the ball somehow. Like, he can be at the top of the box and find a way to hunt down that ball. That's what Napoli are missing. They need a ball winner, and hopefully we can get one soon. Hopefully we can get someone like Vertu as well.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about Bertucci is he has 7 goals this season. So that's another thing I don't think people really realize. 7 goals in the Serie A alone. So, he's been having a great year. He started off a little rough, but he bounced out of it pretty quick. So I'm happy to see that. Now, Lazio on Friday, big game, and I'm pretty confident. We usually do better against the smaller teams, so I don't see Friday going any different. We're undefeated against all small teams this season, except for, I believe, Verona, but, not really a small team, Verona, but they are in that, yeah.
Physically you are, but not with the points.
Yeah, but we tied that game, we didn't lose, but whatever. But yeah, we're undefeated against smaller teams, and I don't see Friday going any different. I think we have the better team than Lazio. I think we're in a better spot than we were when we played them last year. I think even a Lazio fan would agree right now that they drop points to a lot of teams they shouldn't have, and we drop points to good teams. Now a small team has really shocked us at all, which is good to see, because last year, Roma, I'd be more scared of a team like Lecce than Juve, to be honest, because against Lecce we'd get killed and Juve would play up to their standards, but we still lose by a goal or two, but we play well. Against Lazio, we get slaughtered. So, happy to see us play well. Looking forward to Friday, and we all know what time it is, Francesco. Take it away.
All right. Well, there's not much to rant about. We won the game 3-1. Obviously, it wasn't as pretty as the scoreline said it was. Every day I'm watching, I feel like I'm watching the 1970 Brazil team. Too many flicks, too many tricks, too many acrobatics. I feel like, I don't know if Pirlo is watching tapes from back then, in that World Cup, but, it goes to show you what Juve's play style is starting to go into. And I don't know if I'm a fan of it. Obviously in the right moment, the right flick is always great to have. But in the wrong moment, it could really hurt us, and a lot of times it does. Sassuolo were down to 10 men, really early on, and you would think that would make us play better. In fact, it made us play worse. Ramsey was horrible. I don't care that he scored the goal; he was horrific. There was chance after chance where he could have shot the ball, and instead I don't know what he was thinking. He was scared to shoot almost. There was a chance Ronaldo, again, he was horrific this game. There was a chance where Ramsey had the ball and he was about to score the goal, and Ronaldo just cut Ramsey off and took the shot himself and had a horrible angle, and we were lucky to come away with the win that game. I think everyone could celebrate this win against Sassuolo. I think it's a wake up call for us. Obviously, we have big games. We have Genoa tomorrow in the Coppa Italia that we can't lose. We have Inter, and then we have Napoli if they decide to show up with De Laurentiis. But we have big games coming up, and they're all must wins, especially if we want to win Scudetto, especially Inter. I just think we need to start waking up. Ramsey, I think it's time for him to go. I like his energy most games, but as of late he's been in a slump, similar to Napoli. But I think it's time for him to pack his bags and go back to the Premier League, go back to the big club in Arsenal, as the Arsenal fans would say. I think get rid of him in January, bring in Castrovilli, someone who's proven in Serie A or even proven in Europe. That'd be nice. But I think Ramsey's time to go. I think McKennie, it's time for him to shine, starting midfielder. It's a shame we had a couple of injuries, but I think we got to bounce back get them going, get the bench going. I want to see Portanova before he leaves to Genoa, and hopefully, we get the results in these upcoming games. And Sassuolo, they played good, but what can you do when they're playing defensive? You get bit in the ass, and that's what happens.
I feel like Sassuolo, they played
They played well. Yeah, they played really
even
well.
with the 10th
Especially
man,
Traore played well.
yeah,
He was
I was
really
just gonna say,
impressive.
I liked De Zerbi. I feel like he's a good coach for them. He
Yeah.
brings the best out of some players, and I don't know, like for me as a player like Obiang, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. A player
With
like
Cam reject.
of a veteran, present. He went in dangerously. I think it was on Chiesa, I believe. It was either Chiesa or Dybala. I think it was Chiesa. And I knew it was a red card the minute I saw VAR when I saw the studs were showing.
Yeah.
And it was also a late tackle, always a red card. But to be honest, I was really impressed with De Frel. He played a pretty solid game. Traore, I think he was their best player on the field.
Yeah, agreed.
The kid's impressive as hell. And I think United signed the wrong Traore. I think they were meant to sign the one from Sassuolo. He's such a good player. And you could tell that Sassuolo were missing the likes of Baradi. And also, I feel like Boga could have even started the match, but he hasn't been himself since coming back from COVID. But then again, he's trying to get back into form. And Baradi's the type of player, I feel like if he was playing, he could have changed the match a little bit. Because he's such a good player as well, especially when he links up with the likes of Caputo and also if Boga plays. But Sassuolo, I gotta give them a little credit. They played such a good match, but then all of a sudden, Vlad Kidikic showed why he was sold to a team like Sassuolo. Just had a big brain fart, and instead of clearing the ball, he just stopped and watched it go right by. And Ramsey was there for the top in. And then once that goal went in, great ball by Furabota. But I feel like Kidikic could have done a lot better on that play.
100%. I think he was just scared of the own goal and got in his head. And
who cares? Just go out. If it goes in, it goes in. Well, it's most likely that if he cleared it, it would have gone out. And also, once that goal went in, Sassuolo tried to attack, and they end up getting caught by great ball by Danilo to Ronaldo, who finished it nicely. I feel like Ronaldo too. Besides that goal, he was invisible. He had a few chances. He had a few chances that he should have scored. And it was just it didn't look like the Ronaldo that we all expected that match. But Juve found a way to win. Danilo again played a really good match. Really great goal he scored, and it's a good win for Juventus. It's a confidence builder for them, especially with tough matches coming up as well. I think they have Inter this week, or
we have Genoa for Coppa Italia tomorrow.
Yeah, Genoa,
and then Inter.
Roma, Napoli. So it's a tough schedule for Juve, and this win helps them build momentum. We'll see what they can do against Genoa this week, and also against Inter. Because again, it's a long year, a lot of time. Like it's gonna be, if they can continue this, then they have a good chance to even maybe finish be top two by the time the stretch is over. It's gonna be an interesting 2021 at the end, down the stretch. A lot of teams could be picking up form. A lot of teams could be slumping. So that's the beauty of sports. You have to be consistent throughout the whole year, and you gotta be consistent. You gotta put when the chips are down, you have to prove why you're the best team, and the best team ends up winning the league. So it's gonna be an interesting end to the stretch of the season. Again, Juve big win, Napoli got a big win, Roma got a big point. So the top teams, our teams, got favorable results this week, and let's see if we can all carry over throughout the season.
Yep, well said. I'm looking forward to the derby on Friday, like I said. I think it's always a special game, and I feel like a team like Juve is kind of lacking that. Like, I'm sure Francesco like a heated rivalry, like Roma-Lazio, or I think Dan, same thing with Napoli.
I just pick out every team. Like, Juve-Torino is not a derby anymore because they're shit. So I always look forward to the bigger games like the Inters, the Napolis, the Milans.
I think a derby, no matter
Yeah,
how good
I
one
wish we
team
had
is or
one.
the other team, it's just a different.
It's a different
You know
feeling
what
and
though?
atmosphere, especially for the fans in the stadium for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This year, even the Campania derby was competitive this year because of the way Benevento have been playing.
Yeah.
And if they can continue the way they can, by the time they come to the to Napoli, to the Diego Maradona Stadium, who knows? It could be a very another competitive match because of the way Benevento have been playing, the way Inzaghi sets his men up for these big matches. It seems like Benevento play better in bigger games than they do against the smaller games.
Yeah, it also
Yeah,
depends if
that's
Napoli are
true.
still in their slump or not. That's
Oh,
going to
here we
determine the
go.
outcome.
Yeah, slump. Who knows? Who knows if Juve go in a slump? Who knows?
Well, as of right now, we haven't, so no, we're out of it.
Yeah, you guys started a slump at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you
We
guys had a
did,
little
and now
slump
we're
there.
out of it.
Yeah, well, who knows? Every team goes for it. That's why soccer is a beautiful sport. You don't know, especially now the Serie A. I think we can all agree the Serie A is more competitive now than it was say 2-3
Oh
years
yeah,
ago because
100%.
you don't know.
Definitely.
You don't know. A team like Spezia can upset Napoli. A team like Crotone upset Juve and they got a point. Enzo, I'm pretty sure you had result too, right? Or no? You guys have been
This year, no, not this season, but
But
like
even
other seasons, yeah.
yeah, like last season, yeah. It was like that's the beauty of the Serie A, and that's why you like to see as a fan, even if you don't support a team in the Serie A, but you love watching Italian soccer or just watching soccer in general. You love to see a
Competition.
competitive
Yeah.
league, yeah. Which I feel like Serie A, again, besides the top 4, top 5, it hasn't been that competitive. But now every team can bite you and every team can hurt you. So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, well said. I'm looking forward to weeks to come and see how the year plays out.
Yep.
I think we've had a lot of great games this season. Despite not having fans, I think we had some exciting ones,
I
but
can't wait for
obviously
the
we
fans
missed
to come
them.
back.
Yeah, me too. It's never going to be the same without them, but I guess we just got to be grateful we even have Calcio to
Yeah.
watch because there was a period last year for 2-3 months we didn't have anything.
Yeah,
So
we can watch anything.
We felt lost. I feel like I felt
I didn't even know what
lost.
to do.
Do the same shit all the time.
Yeah, so lucky we have it now, and hopefully in the future get to see fans out there and everyone's safe, and the vaccine can spread out worldwide and everyone's safe, and we get past this terrible time we're in right now. But to top it off, thank you for listening. We've been enjoying the podcast more lately than usual. I know I have personally. I got to a point where I was tired, but now I'm enjoying it, and yeah, I'm gonna go edit this thing right away and get it out for you guys as soon as I can. So, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week, and ciao.
Have a good
Ciao.
one, guys.